Hello, hello. What is going on? Hello, 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 hello. I think this is one of the episodes where I'm just my head is in rambles, guys. I was supposed to have this set yesterday, but I somehow got here before work, and I was posting something in my new one thing I'm just doing on Snap, where I said that sometimes it gets so difficult. Like I had a little issue yesterday, and it was impossible for me to come out and like shoot this episode. And I'm just here, which is I'm really grateful I get to do this because I don't think say which kind of excuse I want to give why I not upload this week. um Guys, you're welcome to another amazing episode on Express Luchi podcast. Don't forget that this podcast is a platform for you to be expressive and a reality check. I'm your host, it is Luchi Gloria. And what are we talking about today? I had said on one of my videos I normally post on Snap that is never too late. And I say this with so much confidence. People keep asking me where this confidence is coming from. And I would always say it's because of God. It's never too late. You can start now. And that is what we're talking about today. Growing up, I am a child that was always placed on a time stamp. I really started life really early. My dad always had it all planned out. God bless his soul. So he's going to tell you you're going to do this, even down to my secondary school. I remember I already started going for I think I started going to my previous school for my senior secondary school, and my dad just came one day and he said, "Oh, you're going to this boarding school." After my uncle had come one day, and it was just me preparing to go to that boarding school, and everything has always had like timetable preparation and everything, and it always worked like the way they will plan it. Or you're going to a boarding school today, you're doing this, you're doing that. But as time went on, as I became an adult, I realized that there are some things you plan and it does not plan the way you want it to go. And that is why I was inspired to talk about this. That as humans, we have been taught to make a lot of preparation. Preparations are very important, plans are very important. But it gets to a certain point in life where you are planning life, they plan you. You understand that kind of thing, and that is why I want to remind us today that it's never too late to start anything. It's never too late. You can start now. If you feel it's too difficult, I was reading a book. Like I've actually printed. I actually read books that I buy now. I was reading a book and it said something about the four laws of attraction. It said make it easy, and that is what I want to point out. Is make it easy, make it obvious, make it satisfying, and make it attractive. I did not place it according. But the point I want to make here is don't overthink these things. Because when you stress out about the most difficult things, it's difficult for you to start something. It's going to be going on in your head and say, oh, what am I going to do? How do I make this better? How do I do this? The preparation alone will just turn your head. But the problem is we tend to pay more attention to the result. I am one of so you see me, I do this thing very well. I tend to envision what it's going to look like in the long run. And I forget that success is all about the journey. Because I, for one, have experienced what it means for you to be continuous on a path and you would see the results eventually. Results not they hide, and that is one thing that I have learned. And that is why I'm saying today, start now. Just start anything that comes to mind. If you want to start a business, if you want to go back to school, I am still in all of the degrees I'm still going to acquire. I have my first degree in sociology. I'm taking financial courses. I still want to do my master's. I still want to take other degree. And even though at 40 I wake up and say, this is what I want to do, it's never too late to start anything. We just have to pick up and understand that life is short, life is fickle. As someone that's always been living on a timetable growing up, and you get to this adult life and nothing is going as you want it to go, so when you get the courage to start something, the courage is not always going to be there. It's not even going to be easy, even though I'm saying make it easy. It's not going to be easy. But I think one thing is certain. When you start something, it is difficult for you to call it quit. Even when you call it quit, you can start again. The Bible said it's not how you fall, it's how you rise up. I think there's the Bible we pray. I say if we fall 7 times, we're going to rise up 7 times. And that is to show you what God is teaching us about courage and just showing up continuously. It's never too late, guys. Ololo for who give up. Oh, you will explain, no evidence. So, and I understand again that it's difficult for to always show up. I realized that yesterday. I like the spirit was willing, but the body, the body was going through its own part, and it was difficult for me to come for a scheduled shoot. And sometimes it gets difficult for you to show up. It's perfectly fine. But the most important thing is you realize that, oh, I did this before. Okay, I had taken excuse before. It's okay for you to give, like, step back and take a breather. But the most important thing is for you to not give up. Do not give up, guys. It's never too late to start something. Life is a life is too, like, I even recently during the feast. Yes, I'm back from the feast. During the feast, we lost somebody in church, and it just goes to show you what it is, what life is. So why do you want to keep wallowing in, how do I start this? How do I start this business? Oh, what is people going to say? People are always going to talk. People are always going to say how, like, just always the, that's why with this news, these news bloggers and people that do news, they make it. Or news go always there. Don't worry about that. But the most important thing is for us to realize that time is short and we have to make the best use of it. I grew up to be this prim and proper girl. I always have everything on schedule. But now I'm trying to live life really freely and it's really working for me. I was even speaking to my mom recently. I told her that I think the difference between the rich and the poor is how flexible the rich are. They don't stick to one thing at the end of the day. I, for one, as I said before, I was on schedule, but now when I want to start some things, is it a business, is it a series? I don't even think too much. I just start. And I'm a firm believer of in the process, learning on the process. It's worked for me a lot of time. All those ones where they prepare too much, they really stress me out sometimes, and I get really overwhelmed and I stop at some point. But you see all those ones where you just start and you believe that it's going to work itself out. They take time. So it's how flexible. See, I'm losing my thoughts here, but it's how flexible the rich are. And I think that is the advantage they have. They are not people that get stuck on a particular way of doing things. And the book I just finished reading is saying that when we get used to a particular habit, it hibernates our growth. And that is what I'm trying to say now. It's good that you have your routines, but things that will make your life better, things that will make your life that will put you in a better space. Don't hesitate to start. It's never too late. They say that if Englishman we talk say it's better late than never. They know what they talk. So let's try to live. Let's try to enjoy what it is, and call it what it is. Like, I'm having so much fun with this episode. I'm just chilled and I'm just saying, start. If you can start, guys, everything will be fine at the end of the day. What's the worst that will happen? Highest, it will crash. You start again. And if you crash, you crash. You know that is not your fault. You go on to the next. The quicker, the faster. What am I saying? I said the more you keep engaging, the more it is for you to know what is actually working for you. And I think that is actually working. I've tried it. When it comes to relationship, okay, let's not say that. Scrap it, I'll scrap it. So, guys, just leave. Life is short. Life is definitely short. So I'm just on this episode to have fun, really. There is really nothing I want to say you've not heard before. But I feel like I need to say this. Because I've just been living life based on the terms that at the end of the day, everything will do all right last. My siblings and my mom will tell you that this has been my favorite slang. Everybody will be fine at the end of the day. Like, everybody is going to be fine. And the continuous, if you think, say, oh, if you stay one place, you know, move, problem no go dey. Problem, they finish. And that is what makes us human. The steady contact of always trying to make it better for yourself, the steady contact of always trying to be the best version of yourself. Although not everybody is an advocate of growth, but as long as you believe in growth, as long as you know what it is, my dear, Start. Start now. As I dey talk, as you finish watching this episode, whatever it is you want to do, start now. It's never too late. Don't allow anybody to come and tell you anything. Waiting happy. I thought if my brother say they cannot do what I'll do because of waiting stranger go do. Stranger fire, thunder fire, stranger 10 times. Because I'm having a lot of fun on this episode. I can't even emphasize. Um, start. That is just the moral lesson on this episode. Start. Start. Everything you know you want to do, start. Life is short, so just start. Start, guys. Start. Okay, don't forget to engage us on this conversation or on this episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube, all across Experience with Luchi. My private handle, Luchi, across all social media on EWL Podcasts, TikTok, and Instagram. And just tell us what it is. Tell us how it's difficult for you to start something, the preparation, and how overwhelmed you've gotten. Tell us, just engage us on this conversation. And I'm really ready to listen. It's Experience with Luchi, and we always talk about our experience with a cash cruise for you. It's nothing serious. I'm your host, Demetis, your jiggler, and don't forget that God is love, love is God. Have an amazing week. I'll see you in the next one.